Morning. Good morning.
Rinpoche, please start.
Oh, you can see me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see you clearly, Rinpoche.
Okay, thank you. Sangye Judan Zoye Jonam Lan Janju Pardo Dane Gebzo Che Daye Chuje Yebe Zonam Ge Jola Benjere Sangye Drobara Sho Sangye Chud Zoye Jonam Lan Janju Pardo Dane Gebzo Che Daye Chuje Yebe Zonam Ge Jola Benjere Sangye Drobara Sho Zoi Shimbei Kim Joji Melon Damai Ramai Shi Yende Gem Boinde Sangye Shin Do Min De Me Wai Him Joy Gu Namai Dai Shin Da Je Bara Sho Yi Da Mam Guru Rana Mendran Kamniryandaraya me. Okay. Mm, mm.
Yeah,
So last week we covered up to verse number 57. Today we start from verse number 58. Um, so I think the verse number 58 is the summary of the previous verse. And then from verse number 59, some new chapter. It's not a new chapter, but so verse number 58 is part of the previous chapter. So let me just read it through the Tibetan first. Buta, 대다로 끈도 대다로 디구입니다. 다음에 때 verse number 58 대다로 디구입니다. 다음에 때 개매 고매 내매 텔레도 거와 출신이고 매발래 메저 큐기 돈의 용어 쓰여서 it's all impermanent, devoid of self. So if you are not to stay there, refugeless and helpless, drag your mind away, O king, from the plantain-like samsara, which has no core. So, what is it? Okay. So the first thing, the summary of the above, huh? So it's all impermanent, devoid of self. So here the self does not mean the person. Self means itself. So whatever it is, that, for example, a cup, the cup is devoid of itself. A person is devoid of itself. Um, if it's a car, the car is devoid of its self. So the meaning here is that mm, self, usually when we talk about the self, we are talking about the person. The person is the self. So here, the self means the very essence. So the so-called car, we have for example, let's use the example of a car. The car is devoid of a self. The car has no self in the sense that if you are to find out, if you are to inquire which is the car, of course, when you ask someone, where did you park your car? You will say, oh, it's in the parking lot. The car is there. Now you go, you approach the car, and then look at the car and search for the car within the car. You cannot find it. From the hood is not the car, the doors are not the car, the wheels are not the car. Basically, from any part of the car, you will not find a car. But you cannot say that there is no car there. There is a car. The car is parked in the parking space. The car is parked in the garage. But then when you approach the car sort of disappears in the sense that even though you can see the form of a car is there. The shape of the car is still there. But then if you have to identify which part of the car is a car, you cannot find it. So it is essence less, no essence. So selfless, essence less. So a car is just an example. The same goes with a tree, even, yeah, not just a man-made, but something natural like a tree or a mountain. From the distance, there is the mountain, there is a tree, but then you approach a tree, and then which part of the tree is a tree? The bark is not a tree, the leaves are not a tree, the branch is not a tree, and so on and so forth. So that means no essence, essence-less, selfless. So a tree is there, but not there essentially. So being there and not being there, that is the how to say. So that is the key thing here to understand. So here, so the first verse, first line, it's all impermanent and devoid of self. So that is the meaning of the self here, means the essence. Devoid of self means devoid of essence, devoid of something to point, devoid of something like that. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. So it's all impermanence. So we are talking about the body. We are talking about the human body that we were the human body that we are endowed with. So we have been born in many different aspects. So when we are born in samsara, at some time we are born as human, sometime as dog, sometime as an insect. So many times, so many different aspects. So humans are not born as human every birth. Humans are this time you are human, next time you are a monkey. After that you are born as a hungry ghost. It changes like that. So because of that, the birth itself is impermanent. Of course, after being born, your life is impermanent. Yeah, there are so many obstacles. Everything. If you don't do anything, then everything that is around you, that is surrounding you, is there to make you die, make you mm, make you die. Mm. In order to survive, you have to do something. Yeah. In order to survive, you have to breathe, which has to do something. In order to survive, you have to eat food. Yeah. In order to survive, you have to interact with people. If you don't do anything, everything that is around you is made to make you die. In other beginning from time itself. Time is there to make you die. In the essence that you die as the time proceeds, right? So as time goes along, you die. After a few, after 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 20 year, you are dying. So even the thing called time which comes with you when you were born, even that is there to make you die. And then um, everything. In order to survive, you have to do something. If you do not do, everything that is around you are there to make you just expire, not to make you thrive. In order to thrive, you have to do something from your own. So the point here is that nothing is there to make you thrive. In order to thrive, you have to do it yourself. So therefore, everything is not only impermanent in this lifetime, but they are all there to not only impermanent, but also is an obstacle to for you to thrive. In order to thrive, you need to do something about your existential surrounding, existing surrounding. So therefore, that is the reality. That is the fact. Your birth is impermanent. Your life is impermanent. Everything is impermanent and unpredictable. So that is the first line. Yeah. And then not only are they impermanent, they're also essenceless. If it's impermanent, but once you get it, you can hold on to it and it doesn't go away. Then it's something to hold on to. There's something precious. I mean, it's something to think of. Yeah. But when you get it, it is so impermanent. It is so unpredictable that when you get it, even then it doesn't stay long. And then it doesn't even have an essence. There is nothing for you to, you work so hard to have a life, have a good life. And then once you succeed something, once you achieve something, then you feel like, oh, okay, that is that all? That is all? Hmm. That is there nothing more than that? This happened to so many people in the world. I will continue. Yeah. Hmm. So all these are impermanent and then they are selfless. So what does it matter if it's selfless? Yeah. If there is no self, there's no essence. What does it matter? Uh, okay, there is a car, right? We talked about the car earlier, right? If you ask if there is a car or not, if there is no car in reality, that's a big problem. But there is a car outside, it's parked in the garage, huh? There is a bus in the bus stop. Everything is there. If you approach the bus, then you cannot find the bus. That's what does it matter? If there is a car in your garage, right? Then when you approach the car and then look for the car within the car, you cannot find it. But what does it matter? If you cannot find the car within the car, when you approach the car, then you look for the car under the car, on the top of the car, everywhere, you cannot find the car. What does it matter, right? You will think, what does it matter if you cannot find the car? Because it still functions. The car is still in the garage. You can still get in that car, even if you cannot find that car. Even if the car is selfless, you can still get into that car, drive to your workplace, and this and that. So whether it's a car, bus, everything, same. Everything functions, even if it's not, even if it is selfless, it still functions. So what's the big deal here? So the big deal here is that just like the car, everything, everything is no self, selfless, including your body, yourself. So the so-called you, yeah, Tongkhor Rinpoche, for example, if you just unobservingly check whether Tongkhor Rinpoche is there or not, uh, it is Tongkhor Rinpoche is there, he's speaking. But then you look at Tongkhor Rinpoche and see where Tongkhor Rinpoche, you cannot find where Tongkhor Rinpoche is, like my my head is not me, this and that. So if you look for the essence of yourself, it is not there. In reality, you are essenceless. The same goes with not if you are essenceless, then everything you do is also essenceless. There's no essence. Especially when it comes to mundane activities. You work so hard to achieve something in the professional career, your career, to make a good business, to maybe to get a good partner, to set a family, everything. You work so hard. At the end, what is there? There's nothing. You work so hard to get a certain position in a company. Once you get there, before you get there, everything, there's a saying that happiness is at the horizon. Horizon means always in front of you, somewhere in the distance. So before you are able to make this much money, this much amount of money, or get that appointment, get that uh, position, or maybe get that partner, seems so beautiful, seems so desirable. You want to get that. But once you get it, then you start losing interest, whether it's your job, your partner, your whatever you are doing. The reason behind that is because it's essenceless. There is no essence, there's no self. So whatever you do, before you get there, it's just like that car. The car is in the garage, so you think the car, I mean, car is in the garage, so you approach the car. But once you get to the car, you do not find the car. The car is nowhere. Similarly, your partner, your position, your making money, whatever. In the horizon, it looks something big, something desirable, something you want to achieve. But once you achieve that, once you get there, it's nowhere to be found. And if you know this earlier, there is no sense, no essence there. There is no self, no meaning in everything. Then when you get there, uh, and then when you find out that there is nothing there, you will not be disappointed. But if you think there is something really out there, yeah, oh, if I get this partner, then everything is my all my desires fulfilled. If I get this much money, then $100 million, then everything is let's say all my desires accomplished. No, once you get 100 million, you want to make 200 million. If you 200, then you want more. So whatever you are trying to achieve, once you get that, you want more because this is not satisfied you. The reason we will say, oh, it's because of our attachment, our greed, this and that. But why does the greed come? Why does the attachment come? Because everything is essenceless, no self, no essence. So that's why if you understand the concept of no self, then you will be able to, how to say, reduce your desire and attachment, craving to things that haunts you at all time. So that is the main point here. Oh yeah. So if you know that there is no permanence, no nothing is everlasting, and then the one thing, if you know it's not everlasting, then whatever you have, you will try to cherish it. Yeah. At the same time, if you know there is no self, no essence, no core, nothing essence there, nothing is essence in essentially there, then you will also know that there is, you will cherish whatever you have, but there is no point in holding on to something, attachment. There is no point in being attached to something because there is no essence. So whether it's your anything that is in the mundane life, nothing lasts forever, nothing is everlasting. So because of that, you cherish what you have. At the same time, there is nothing to hold on to, nothing to clutch, because they are all essenceless. And this, if you understand that part, then when you lose someone or something, then you despair much less, because there is a none of this actually matters. None of these are, of course, socially, it's, as a social construct. There is so much. It's very sophisticated. We have a very sophisticated social construct, social norm, this and that. Uh, but at the end of the day, mm, essentially, there is nothing, if you understand. Okay, so then the second line, if you are not to stay there, refugeless and helpless, drag your mind. So refuge, no refuge and no help. Refugeless, if you are do not want to stay refugeless, and if you do not want to stay helpless, then turn your mind away, O king. So that is the third line. So the second and the third line, mm, talks about actually it's a reference on renunciation. Yeah, renouncing. So you must renounce, if you must learn to renounce the mundane life, the world, basically. If you um, if you do not want to remain here with no refuge and no help forever. As long as you are, if you do not, this first truth, first line has impermanent and no self. If you do not understand that, if you do not comprehend this fact, then you will always get stuck in this samsaric life. It's similar to is it a what they call this, a moth? Moth. Yeah, a moth is always circling the candle, the flame of a candle. The moth always circle, and then they get burned there. So the moth does not know this is the end for it, for her. Uh, the moth thinks that she can get something of essence there in the flame. So she circle, and at the end, she, how to say, get close to the flame, and the flame burns her. And she's not aware of that. So like that, if we get stuck, if we think there is something to get from this samsaric life, whether it's your position, whether it's your family, whatever, if you get stuck there, it's important. We're not saying it's not important to have a job, not important to have a family. All these are very important, very important part of social construct. But at the same time, if you get stuck there, getting stuck is a very the key word here. Yeah, if you are stuck there, then you cannot go beyond anything. You cannot do anything. You get stuck there, then you cannot move. So because it's impermanent, your family is impermanent, your job is impermanent, everything is impermanent. So when you have them, you must cherish them. If you have a job, you must do it diligently. If you have a family, you must love them, take care of them. Very good. At the same time, there is no point in getting stuck with that because it's all essenceless, no essence. Yeah, nothing is essence. Nothing. Even your life, you yourself, your name, your title, you, Tongkhor Rinpoche, this person, this body is essenceless. It's going to, how to say, uh, what's the word? Betray me. My body is going to betray me when I get older. My eyes are going to betray me. My thoughts, my memory is going to betray me when I get older. I cannot remember things when I get older. So I will betray myself. Not, yeah. And then I will betray, of course, my family, my company, everything. So there is nothing, no point in holding on to things. That one, you will get it. You will get that. So if you do not want such thing, if you do not want to remain without a refuge, without a protector, helpless, then you must turn your mind away, O king, right? So turning your mind away, that word, the third line, and helpless, drag your mind away, O king. So drag your mind away means drag your mind from the mundane, worldly attitude to the spiritual path. If you drive your mind from the mundane to the spiritual, then there is a how to say salvation, or there is a escape, there is a liberation there. So if you know there is no essence, and if you know it is impermanent, basically if it's no essence, it's like a magician's play, like a magic show. So then something happens. Of course, when you go to watch a magic show, uh, it's exciting, it's entertaining, but at the same time, you're not too much bothered. In the magic show, they cut someone into two, they cut the body into two pieces, right? Slice the body into two pieces, or do so many strange things. Of course, you are excited. There is some excitement there. You're being entertained, of course. But once the magic show is done, then you come home and you're not bothered by any of these things. Uh, so because it is no essence, because there is no essence, does not mean you cannot still enjoy it. Nothing in this life, this world, is of any essence, but you can still enjoy them. Mm, But you can still enjoy them. And then when you lose something, you can still be sad. You can still feel. Basically, you can go through all emotions, uh, happy emotion, unhappy emotion, everything. Even if you know it's a it's essenceless. It's a kind of a hollow, like a magician's show. Everything is hollow, but you can everything is sort of similar to a mirage, uh, hollow, no core, no essence. But you can still enjoy. You can still be sad. But the difference is, when you go to watch a movie and you after if it's a sad movie, you feel sad, maybe cry a little bit. After that, you're not bothered by it because you know it's a movie. Hmm? When you watch the movie, it's very entertaining. You enjoy the movie, whether it's a sad movie or very happy movie. You enjoy as the movie the show is going on for 2 hours. You enjoy it, or you feel sad with it. After that, you move on because you know it's no essence. Similarly, with life, if you understand that, then you can be sad. It doesn't mean you become indifferent. You have no emotion. No, you. So like the Buddhas and the great yogis, they are not emotionless. They have emotion, but the way they share their emotion is when something happens, they just go along with it. Yeah. Uh, of course, it doesn't mean they don't shed tears. They don't have emotion. They have emotion. You share your emotion and then you move on like that. So the with this understanding, then you will fare much better in life. Otherwise, if you lose something, or if you when things are going all right, then no problem. But if things start to go downward, then a lot of big problem for you. So anyway, the last line is from a plantain-like samsara, which has no core. So the samsara is like a plantain tree, which has no root, or the root is very easy to remove, very easy to carry away. So therefore, one must not get attached, stuck in a plantain-like samsaric world. You must see it for what it is, which is uh, devoid of self and impermanent. Yeah. So don't what I just mentioned, don't think of that as something negative. What I'm saying is that by comprehending this fact, understanding this fact, you will be able to take your life in a more lighter way, not becoming too serious, not becoming too engrossed, not getting stuck. That is the main thing. Yeah. Okay, so next, the next verse, the 자수 찍는 여신 보고다 리베체 바웨 장 전조베 미니 체도가와 미왕기 담주주베 텐제 치버르 주스. So this is to highlight um, the preciousness of the human life. How precious it is to be born as a human being. Harder still than that a total chance upon the opening in a yoke upon a great and single sea is rebirth as a human after rebirth as a beast. So heed the sacred Dharma, king, and make your life bear fruit. Yeah. So this is usually spoken whenever there is a Dharma teaching, especially during any of the a lot of time when there's a in general Dharma teaching, you may have heard this many times, and usually when there's a tantric teaching, tantric teaching, before beginning the tantric teaching, the teacher always speaks on this part. So the fact is this: to be born in a human life is so precious, yeah, so rare. So the rareness of the human life is mm, spoken in this metaphor. So the metaphor is that there is a in the ocean, right? So 70% or something, 90%, 70% of the world is as water or something, right? So in the ocean, in the great ocean of the world, in the great ocean of the earth, there is a big total. There is a total in the great ocean of the world. So just supposedly imagine there is a total in the ocean, and then in the ocean there is one uh uh how to say one wooden uh one wooden plank, one plank with a small hole in there. Okay. So one wooden plank with a small hole in our ocean. So there is one total in the big ocean, and then there is a plank with a small hole in the ocean. So these two things. So every 100 years, every 100 years, the total comes out of the ocean. The total peeks his neck out of the ocean once every 100 years. And so the plank with a hole is swimming around on the surface of the ocean here and there. So is it impossible that the ocean that the neck of the turtle and the hole of the plank will sync together, will match together? Is it impossible? Of course not. It's not impossible. It may happen because every 100 years the tortoise comes up. So at the very moment, the very minute, the very second the tortoise comes up, extends its neck out of the ocean, and then it gets stuck in that plank with the hole, wooden plank with the hole. It is not impossible, but it's almost improbable. So very rare. So the human life is considered to be rarer than that. It's much more rare than this thing. Even though it's not impossible for every 100 years. In some text it says every 500 years. So in this particular text it says 100 years. So anyway, it's a metaphor. So every 100 years, the total extends its neck, and then in the ocean there is the plank is swimming around, and the hole and the neck getting together is not impossible, but it's extremely rare. But to be born as a human being is much rarer than that. So usually in the sutras, it speaks of a person. I mean, we have been in samsara for eons and eons, right? So we were sometimes born as a hell being, sometimes as a god, sometimes as a human being. So we keep changing our position, sometimes very high, sometimes at the very bottom, like that, keep changing. So there was a question being posed to one of the bodhisattvas, and then the answer was that to be born from a lower realm, like a hell realm, hell being, or especially not hell being, sorry, from like a to be born from an animal realm, lower realm, such as an animal being, to be born from an animal being to a human, to be born from the lower realm to a higher realm, like a human being, it is as rare as a tortoise. The tortoise finding the hole of the plank every 100 years, like that. And then for those who are born in the higher realm, upper realm, to be born in the lower realm, then the answer was that it is as innumerable as the grains of sand in the river Ganges. So that was the answer given by the Bodhisattva. I think it may be Vajrapani. So anyway, one of the Bodhisattva asked the question and the Buddha gave that answer. So to be born from a lower realm to a higher realm is much harder, and from higher realm to a lower realm is much easier. Okay, then next, so once it's so rare to receive this human body, and once you receive it, if you just throw it away, in vanity, then if you just waste it, then it's such a big loss. Um, so therefore, I mean, we are always, how to say, uh, wasting half of our life. mm. Um, if we live up to 50 years, we only use 25 years of that. If we live for 100 years, we only use 50. Mm. The reason is uh, the rest of the we have, in generally speaking, we sleep. When we are sleeping, we're not using it for anything um, meaningful. Okay, of course, from a mundane life, humanly perspective, you can say, okay, by sleeping, I'm getting rest, this and that. So, in order to function, you need to have sleep and all these things. But from a spiritual point of view, all these things doesn't. So you're wasting half of your life just by sleeping, and then there is the eating part. Then there's the distraction. Then there is chit chat and this and so many things. So when it comes to real development of yourself, your own, there's very little time. So therefore, one must make sure that one is not just working or doing, just living for the sake of living. Your life should be more meaningful than just for living for the sake of living. Mm. So when you were born, after you were born, your parents take care of you. Then, after you grow a little older, then they give you education. Why you educated? Why are you educated? So that you are equipped, well equipped to get a job. So later, when you become a fully adult after graduation, what you do? You go for a job, apply for a job. Why you need a job? Because you need to money. Why you need money? You need to get a house and all these things, food, family setup. So in order to get food, in order to get family, sorry, a house, in order to do all these things, you're getting a job. So the job may or may not be desirable for you, but you still do it because you need to pay your bills. So you get a job, pay your bill. In order to pay the bill, you get a job. So then you start working for um um how do you call it? A faceless company, a company that doesn't have a face. It's run by a board of director, this and that. So there is no face to it. Mm. You work for someone who you never meet. You make money not for yourself. The company makes a lot of money, and then you get a certain portion of it. That's it. And then you work, all of you, all the people who are working in a company, they work so hard. And after some time, they work, uh, and then, of course, the company, the corporation, the organization grows. But yourself, you just get a tiny, tiny, tiny part of it. Mm. And then, and you dedicate most of your able, how to say, the most able part of your most potential part of your life. When you are young, you are energetic, you are sharp, everything, you use that to work for somebody else, some other sort of company or whatever, organization, whatever. Why? Because you need some money to live this and that. And then basically you are wasting or you are utilizing the best part of your life for somebody else, something else. And that company or that organization has got nothing to do with the welfare of the world. It doesn't have any, of course, does it, how to say, contribute to the economy? Maybe a little bit, maybe, right? Does it contribute to the environment, to the flourishment of human society? Very, very difficult. Most do not. Yeah. So, and then you have not contributed anything to the human world which you are part of, and you have not contributed anything for yourself. You have just been working like a slave for this. You are more or less like a clog, a screw in a big machine. Uh, Basically, this very, very precious life that you have, you're just using it to become a slave. You are like this a valet, in the big hotel, the nice hotel, they have a valet. You bring your car, the valet takes it to the garage, whatever. You may have the best, you're like a valet who can drive a very expensive car, but only from the hotel to the garage. That's it. You do not own that car. You do not own this expensive car. You're just you are your best potential, your abilities are used to drive this car from the entrance of the hotel to the garage. That's all you do. So 90% of people we live our life like this in the what we call normal human world. That's how we live. We live for others. We live for others not in the sense of sincerity. We live for others in the sense of being enslaved by them. Yeah. If we decide to voluntarily live for others, that's different. That's a good thing. But the 90% of the human life, how it's run, I make you work for me. You make him work for you. He makes her work for him. Like that. Everybody is basically in some way manipulating each other in a way. So that's how human society is going on at the moment. So 90% of human life is like that. 90% of human society is like that. So therefore, we need to start to live for ourselves. Yeah. Mm. Otherwise, as I said, you are just a valet. You are born a valet and you die a valet. You need to become the owner of the car sometime at certain point. You need to own this car. Otherwise, just driving other people's car for your whole life doesn't make any sense. You are wasting your ability as a driver. So that is something to pick on. So um, the valet, the car, all the company, this is just a metaphor. Reality is your life. You must not just waste your life like that. So in an ideal in an ideal setting, you're supposed to work for 8 hours, and then you're supposed to get rest for 8 hours, and then you're supposed to dedicate 8 hours for your own what do you call hobby, or fulfilling your own um, what do you call that, aspiration and this and that. So that's why the 24 hours is divided into three sets of eight. But what happens is, even let's say we walk only for 8 hours, then in order to go to our office, we have to drive for 1 hour or half an hour, etc. So back and forth, that's 2 hours. You are so giving more than 8 hours. So in order to get to your office, you have to wake up early, to make up, eat food, everything because in order to do that 8 hour work, you have to actually prepare more than 3-4 hours earlier prior to that. So basically, instead of giving the so-called for you are receiving payment for 8 hours, but you are preparing for that 8 hours 4 hours earlier. You are preparing 4 hours before for the 8 hours job. Yeah, I'm just saying very ideally, just for even for someone who is working for 8 hours. Yeah, this happens in some of the advanced countries, but in most of the developing countries, it's more than 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, like that. If you have to work for 14 hours, you have to prepare 2 more hours, 3 more hours prior to that. So that takes about 16 hours, etc. And then it's it's such a blessing that if you get some good sleep, some rest, that is a blessing. Mm. most people don't even get that. And if you after getting the sleep, and if you happen to have some break, some free time, you need to take care of your children. I'm not saying your children are a burden, okay? Don't take me wrong. uh, our parents take care of us, and we take care of our children. That's how it works. But the point is, when I take care of my children, when I take care of my parents, when I take care of people around me, I'm not taking care of me per se. Yeah. This is not in a very selfish matter. I'm not trying to be selfish. Basically, you are not giving any time for yourself. So it's important, okay? Important to dedicate at least 1 hour a day for yourself, just for yourself. Whether you do it like some spiritual practice, whether you do some hobby, I don't know, knitting, maybe whatever you're doing. Don't just scroll, like, just play a video game, not video game, what do you call, just social media or watch a movie like that. It's just, I mean, it kind of distracts you, and then it makes your head a little bit lighter. That's it. It does not make you grow. No development by watching movie or watching the social media, nothing. There's no development 100%. Nothing, no development. Distraction, yes. Development, no, zero. You must read book, read book to make yourself grow. It can be a spiritual book, it can be a self-help book, it can be even for something like a cookbook. Yeah, do something that is for you, just you. Yeah, not for your parents, not for your children, not for people around you, but just for you, yourself. 1 hour you must dedicate. Mm, if you must make yourself, give yourself like 1 hour for yourself. Very important. That no, tell your parents, tell your family member, everyone, this 1 hour is just for myself. Don't disturb me. I need this for myself. You must do that. Otherwise, your whole life, as I said before, your full life is just being a valet. Born a valet, die a valet, like that. So important to dedicate time for yourself. And if you can, of course, spiritual practice just for yourself, that's good. Just for yourself does not mean being selfish, because when you do a spiritual practice, you grow. When you grow, you can help more people. So it appears selfish, but it's actually selfless. Okay, I think that's enough. Oh, so it's a rebirth as a human, rebirth as a rebirth as a human after a rebirth as a beast is much more rare. So heed the sacred Dharma and make your life bear fruit. Make your life bear fruit. So make your life a meaningful life. So when you are at the time of when you at the deathbed dying, then there is nothing to regret. There you are fulfilled, like that. Okay, so next verse. Uh,
Yeah. Rinpoche lang.
yeah, just 1 second. I'm sorry, I cannot find that book. Okay. 강시 스누 린젠테 바이 겐교 착바라 기바 대회니 강시 미로 있겠는 딕바 다 기바 되네 체라블 발라. So verse number 60. Um, more stupid yet than who threw some slops into a golden vessel all bejeweled is he who's gained a precious human birth and wasted it in an evil, sinful life. Yeah. So the analogy, once again, metaphor, in most of the Dharma teaching, they use the analogy. When there is a lot of analogy, metaphors are being used when it's being. Well, this is one thing. When you hear about a lot of metaphors in a certain teaching, these teachings are for the general public. When you come to more of the, how to say, more profound teachings, you see less and less metaphors, because we just give the direct teaching. So metaphor, when things are spoken metaphorically, these are usually meant for the general public. Anyway, so the point here is that this, if you throw, if you have a beautiful golden bowl or a golden urn, golden pot, you will, because golden pot are very precious, you will keep it in a nice cupboard, or maybe put something very nice thing inside there, some valuables in there. Instead of putting the valuables and keeping it safe, if you use it in the put it in, if you put the golden pot in the restroom, in the toilet, and throw all the waste, maybe throw the waste in there, maybe do your you know um, urine urinate in that golden pot, or throw waste in there, leftover food. Basically use the golden pot as a trash can, as a trash bin. Then it's very stupid. This is not. You still. I mean, it is the golden pot is usable. It is usable as a trash can, but that is not what it's meant to be. Mm. By using that is very stupid. Everybody will tell you, "Oh, it's such a stupid person. Why you do that?" Uh, more stupid than that is being born as a human life, and instead of using the human life to grow spiritually, to grow yourself, not meaning in a selfish way, but to grow so that you can be of more benefit to people, like that. Become you to grow so much that you are in control of your life. Instead of doing that, you uh, you fall under the influence of your negative thought, and then you use this precious body of yours, human body, human life, to create more negative karma, so that you get back to ground zero where you started, to be born in the go back to uh, hell being, or the animal life, like that. That is so stupid. It's much more stupid than using the golden pot as a trash can. Mm, Yeah. So now I'm ready to take question if you have any questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's spoken in the to be born in the human life. mm, it's much harder. Even though you can be born in, I mean, so there are three higher realms, right? Uh, Human, demigod, and God. The three lower realms, which is animal, hungry ghost, and hell being. Uh, the most desirable, even though the God life and the demigod life is much more pleasurable uh, than a human life. You have some magical power, do not need to eat food, this and that. You can just, you have magical power, and you can get whatever you want, desire, live a very long life, etc. Uh, but from a spiritual point of view, human life is much more favored, especially in the Vajrayana practices. The human life has something that the God life does not have. Mm. So, human life, the first thing is that as a human being, you see both good and bad. You experience, you go through, we say, oh, life is like a roller coaster, ups and down, ups and down, ups and down, like that. So, being born as a human, we have a lot of ups, a lot of down, lot of up, lot of down. As a child, you have go through a lot of different types of so-called suffering, painful moment. But then there's a lot of joyful moment too as a kid. When you become an adult, you may have much freedom, much more freedom than a child, but at the same time, you have much more burden. So basically, ups and down is part of life. That's what we say. So this only happens in the human world. When you come to when you are in the higher realms, like such as the God realm, there is no ups and down. It's full up. There is no down. So what happens is, when there is no down, when there is no down moment, when you do not go through any sort of suffering or experience any suffering, your painful moment yourself, then you do not, there is no way you know the painful, how to say, experience of other people. Yeah. So you have no idea what others go through. And then when you do not know that, then you have no, how to say, compassion for others. So it's impossible to generate bodhicitta for the first time ever. You know, in the to generate the bodhicitta for the very first time, you need to be born in the human life. You cannot generate bodhicitta for the first time in the God realm. After generating a bodhicitta, as a bodhicitta, you may be reborn in the God realm, this and that. Sorry, as a bodhisattva, someone who has a bodhicitta, you can be reborn in the God realm or demigod realm. This is possible. But to generate the to cultivate bodhicitta for the very first time, To cultivate renunciation for the very first time, you need to be born in the human realm. Without, because in the God realm, everything is so pleasant. So there is no need to renunciate, no need for renunciation, no need for compassion, no need for bodhicitta. So you impossible to generate bodhicitta, impossible to generate compassion, impossible to generate renunciation for the first time if you are in the God realm. So as a spiritual practitioner, the human life is much more favored than the God life, even though it has more setbacks than the God life. Yeah. So let's. I will stop the teaching here now, and then maybe just for 5 minutes or so, we just do some practice. We will now do some recite some mantras. Yeah, for all the sentient beings. Okay. Mm. So many things going on in the world and in the whole world, and then in everybody in your personal life. As I said, it's a human life, some up, some down, so many things going on too. So we seek the blessing of generous Kuan Yin for all our lives, mm, for ourselves, for our loved ones, for others, for all the sentient beings, for our loved ones, for myself, like that. So with the pure bodhisattva motivation, then we pray to Kuan Yin, mm, then we
Yeah.
recite Om Mani Padme. Yeah. Om Mani Padme Hum. Da Sha Dong Hu Lu Gyu Be Gye Bo Dong Chen Dong Gye Wa Sang Be Sang Gye Dong Hang La Kang Jue De. Zun Ba Jin Re Se La Cha Ze Lo. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 O mani be me ho, 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 mani be O mani be me ho, 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 mani be me ho. O mani be me ho, 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 mani be me ho. O mani be me ho, 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 mani be me ho. O mani be me ho, 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 mani be O mani be me ho, 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 mani be O mani be me 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 o O mani be me ho, 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 mani be me. O mani be me ho, 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 mani be me. O mani be me ho, 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 mani be O mani be me 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 o mani be o mani be me 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 o mani be O mani be me 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 o mani be O mani be me 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 o mani be O mani be me 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 ho nge wa di nyu ro da la ma san ye tu jere se wan tu gyuro ne tu wa che kyang Yeah, yeah, Zala, Gubara, Sho, Chanjo, okay, dedication now. Gewan de Nyordo, Da Lama, Sange, Jobyo, Ne, Jowa, Cheya, Malu, Bange, Zala, Gubara, Sho, Chanjo, Semjo, Jembo, Che, Maje, Panama, Gejuro, Geba, Nyamba, Mebara, Yang, Kone, Kondo, Pewara, Sho. Me me an te we de jen jen je se te me ai ke be wan boy jan be yang de boy ma lu jo man ze sang wen da kan jen ge be an zo kien zong ga ba Lord, sign time, bishop, life, so one day. Lord, sign time, bishop, life, so one day. Debe nibo zimbe benga shin namando yu gun la chanchu lao san chu ye nyam zu chogun do dengen chogun tam so on de.
Thank you, Zivojela.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche. We would like to thank you so much for the teaching today. And we would like to dedicate the merit today to all the sentient beings. And we pray for the global peace and all the sentient beings be peaceful. And we would like to thank you very much, Rinpoche, for teaching us very precious Dharma, especially on the impermanence and selfless. Especially when my Mr. Wang father passed away, you have the help. Pray for him to have a better rebirth in the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha, and also to pray to the medicine Buddha to cheat, to cure all his disease in his body and his mind. So that we would like to thank you so much for teaching us the very precious Dharma today, and you guide us on the impermanence of life, the selfless of life, so that we understand the life. That we wish you very good health, long life, and also dynamic activity will be fruitful. Once again, I would like to thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Rinpoche, could you share the Chanzeric image? You share the Chanzeric image, please?
Share the Chanristic image. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
yes, sure. Just one second.
Yeah, thank you so much. We would like to express our deep gratitude to Rinpoche, and also we have a very unshakable belief and trust in you, Rinpoche.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.